All right. All right. Well, hold on a second here. My producer, Clay, has just slid me a piece of paper. It says a statement that Brock Lesnar, I apologize, a statement from Mark Hunt. What am I doing, Clay? I'm reading this? I hate reading things out loud when we're recording that I've never seen before. All right, let's see what Mark Hunt has to say. The way I see, this is a quote from Mark Hunt. The way I see it, Brock Lesnar doping thing is just another reason why we need a fighters association. These guys are making up the rules as they go. First the Reebok thing, then Brock's 4-month testing exemption. Conor McGregor pulled off the card for not going to a press conference that me and Brock didn't have to go to anyway. Work that out. There's a problem. There's probably a heap of others. They say we are cleaning up the sport, yet I've risked my health 2 times against guys cheating since the USADA thing started. I was told Brock was going to be tested when I took the fight. He comes in looking freaking juicy as hell, and then I find out he's popped after the PPV has already been sold. It's ridiculous. The fact that they haven't even bothered to make contact with me since all of this happened just proves they don't care. I'm pretty sure all of this stuff is just there to look good for the sale, if you ask me. These guys have lined their pockets with our blood, if you ask me. I mean, they deserve to get paid, no doubt. They took the UFC from nothing to what it is today, but come on. Most of the guys fighting get paid nothing and have no benefits. We are a massive reason why fans watch the sport, and we risk our health to do it. I'm not sure what it is like in the States, but in Australia, workers stick together to make sure their voice is heard. Lots of guys have talked about this, but someone needs to make this happen, and I'm happy for it to be me. To the fighters listening to this, I want to tell them, get in touch with me via my Facebook page, and we can get this thing going. I won't name anyone until it's all sorted out, but get in touch and let's make this happen. So I guess what Hunt is talking about is a union. He used the word association. Why did I read that, guys? What's the big deal here?
Mark Hunt's mad because fighters are taking steroids, apparently.
Okay.
I don't get it. I mean, I'm a fan. I've been a fan. I've been a fighter. I've got an interesting history with the UFC and mixed martial arts. First off, I was a wrestler for a gang of years, and I've been competing against people that were on steroids from the freshman year in high school, and we all knew it. Same with fighting. When the fighting was no weight classes, hardly any rules, everybody knew who was juiced out, and they still fought. So now, here's my take on the steroid thing. As a fan, let me say, as a fan, I've been watching this sport. I've watched almost every single pay-per-view. I've been to 20 live UFC events. I've got a bunch of friends that became rich and famous fighters. And I watch the sport as a fan like, hey, I love this. Well, it turns out that, most of the fighters for the last, 10, 15 years have been taking some kind of help, some testosterone, steroids, whatever you want to call it. As a fan, I don't know the difference. I don't know the difference between any of it. And neither do the other fans. We're not going to call a chemist and saying, hey, what's in this stuff? If somebody pops for a drug test, we think steroids. That's it. We don't, hey, and now the supplements come out. But I want to talk about this for a second, because in cleaning up the sport, as a fan, they're ruining the sport. They're ruining the sport the same way they ruined the biking with the Tour de France, and everybody was doping. The reason everybody was doping is because the event is too goddamn hard. The bike event where they ride a bike 150, 200 miles a day for 28 days or
Through
something.
the French Alps.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now the same thing, you're talking fighting. Here's the same thing, and I've fought before. I've fought several times, and I trained to fight. And again, I wrestled forever, so I know a little bit about training. Well, if you want to clean up the sport, you can't just say, "Hey guys, quit doing drugs." But we're going to have you fight 5 minutes to the death, 5 rounds, 3 rounds. Let's look at it a little differently, because I can tell the difference in the fights, in the action that go 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds now that it's quote cleaning up. I can tell there's not as much action. Well, that's because there's not as much gas in the tank. So if you want to clean up the sport, okay, all right, do this USADA thing to test everybody to hell and high water. And as soon as they said Brock was coming back, I was like, they're going to get him. They're going to get him, and it's going to look bad, and it does. If you want to clean up the sport, fight something realistic. Shorten those rounds to 3-minute rounds. I look at you guys train. I look at you guys train, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, how do you do that day after day after day? You're tearing your bodies up. Somehow you have to repair, and then you have to peak. You have to repair your body during training, and then some magical way, as you're cutting weight, you're then going to peak and have a peak performance. God forbid you take anything. And man, everybody quit bitching about people being on steroids. You're cage fighters, for God's sakes. The first guy I ever fought in my life was Mark Groom. I knew he was gassed out of his mind. He was 6'8". He was the biggest, toughest dude in Portland that I could find. I didn't care he was on steroids. So all you fighters quit acting like a bunch of bitches and saying, oh my God, everybody's on steroids. Okay, go join the Glee Club. It's a goddamn cage fight. So stop. God, just stop. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God, somebody's taking steroids. Now you want to talk about unionizing. Well, of course you want to unionize. You know why you want to unionize? Just like if you think the NFL players aren't gassed. Come on. Well, yeah, of course they know when the tests are. They're in on the gimmick. Yeah, unionize, but it doesn't mean anybody's going to quit taking the shit. Somebody's going to be cheating. Always. So, guys, if you want to clean up the sport, make it a realistic. I mean, I don't care to watch people fight 5-minute rounds when they can get it done in 3. Let them rest for a minute and 15 seconds. You want action, right? Make it realistic. Everybody, the UFC got out of this thing. They got paid. God bless them. But, man, for us to not believe that the gassing's been going on forever and it's going to keep... Reese, trying not to cuss. John Jones, going to make $1 bazillion. He popped for steroids. Okay, it's estrogen. Okay, it's in the supplement. Blah, blah, blah. I'm a fan. It's steroids. Brock Lesnar, he popped for... what? Asthma? He took some asthma medicine and that? No, it's steroids. Every test that you fail is steroids. That's I'm fan. I'm speaking for the 500,000 listeners of this show. We all think it's steroids. We don't care. So, guys, if you want to clean up the sport, shorten the rounds, make the rest a little bit longer. Fighters, just stop. If you see a guy in a bar and he grabs your old lady's ass, okay, are you gonna fight him? Or are you gonna ask him if he's on steroids? You're gonna fight him. It's the same thing. So, Mark, I love your Mark Hunt. I love your gimmick. My son Lad loves you. I hope you get some of Brock's money, but quit crying. You're goddamn Samoan. You're going to fight anybody in the world any day. And fighters, quit bitching about money. Okay? Here's the thing. And I've got a bunch of friends, and when they started this thing, they fought for nothing. I fought 7 or 8 times. I think I made 3 cans of chew and that's it. Okay? don't ever bitch about money for something you would do for free. Okay? Don't price yourself out. Oh, I need more money. Would you do it for free? Did you start doing it for free? It's a goddamn cage fight. So that's pretty much it. I think USADA. I think it's not the athletes ruining the sports. It's the doping agency. Fighters been taking steroids, testosterone forever. As soon as somebody figured out they could do something that could make them stronger in combat sports, they're going to do it. And guess what, people? People that fight in a cage, no matter what you say, aren't the smartest people on the planet. Okay? They're not trying to better the world. They're trying to whip somebody's ass. So if they can take a pill and get an advantage, they're going to. So, yeah, unionize, get ahead of the game, shorten the rounds. But, man, everybody quit bitching and everybody quit acting like they've never done anything wrong in their life.
All right. Are you done?
Yeah, I think I carried it.
All right. I am not agreeing or signing off on anything you said there. That was your own rant. But you do make an interesting point that I've never heard anybody make before. I have heard the guys in Lance Armstrong's time. I did hear that from the Tour de France guys. They said, listen, look what you're asking us to do. The human body's not made for this, and therefore we went another route. That's interesting that you bring it up in MMA, because the human body is not made for that. I've never thought about it in your terms, but there's something to be said there. I don't know why they ever went to the 5-round system, 25 minutes. I've been in plenty of ass-whipping contests. I knew who was the better fighter 30 seconds in. If you want to fill TV time, you got 15-minute blocks there to do it. Even that is a long time, but fine. We're professional athletes. Let's go 15 minutes. But I hear your point there. I've never thought about that. But the 5-round thing is ridiculous, whether it's a title fight or not. These guys know real quick who's the better fighter. There might be something there. We will come back to that. All right. So you see it in between Mark Hunt's way. We heard Mark Hunt's way. We heard from Juliana Pena. I'm going back to finish up this piracy book. Until Wednesday, until next time, you guys have a great weekend.